Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Redevelopment Commission meeting for August 5th, 2025 to order at 6:50 p.m. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Recupero?
Here.
Mr. Parker?
Here.
Ms. Dixon? Here. Mr. Rivera? Here. Mr. Becker?
Here.
Mr. Teal?
Here.
Ms. Sandberg? Here. Ms. Haskell? Here. Ms. Bazin? Here. Mr. Eldridge?
Present.
Mr. Ostrin?
Present.
Ms. Heidecker present.
Thank you. All right, moving on to consent agenda, item number 1, approval of the minutes for July 1st, 2025, and item 2, claims fund 404, the amount of $3,548.90, and fund number 804 in the amount of $1,607.73. Any questions?
No, sir. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Recupero, second by Mr. Parker. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Ms. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Teal?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Moving on to discussion item number 1, Hanover School Senior Banner Display on Light Poles. Ms. Haskell.
Hello, how is everybody?
Good.
So if everybody goes to Hanover games, whether it be soccer, baseball, softball, football, volleyball, basketball, you'll see senior banners hanging up, whether it's on the football field or the gym, tennis court. We had a thought, the school board did. The light poles going down 133rd, you have the metal posts for banners. So we were wondering if for fall, winter, spring, 3 different seasons, if we can do our senior banners and hang them up there, so that way the whole community can see them. It wouldn't just be sports, it'd be clubs, which is also your cheerleaders, Comcast. In the fall would be your marching band, your band. Spring would be your choir. We were lucky that A-Town did put up our ski team because they start their competitions at the end of the school year. But we'd like to add them in to the spring. And if our esports go and compete, we want to acknowledge those seniors. It would just be seniors, but this way the community can see our kids and what they're doing and kind of utilize those.
So who would put the banners up and take them down?
If we need to, we would find a way to do it.
Because I know as far as the flags and other things, it's Public Works that does it.
Yeah.
Because I know when I started 5 years ago on RDC, that's when RDC ordered banners for like Veterans Day, and that's when those went up, and your Public Works hung them up. But we would be, parents, the parents purchase them anyway. It'd be that same routine, the parents purchasing them, and then us just displaying them there instead of on the courts where not much of the community gets to see unless you go to the games.
I think it's a great idea. I just think we need to, because I think it's on our council agenda, Tracy, but just trying to figure out the logistics at that point. But I like the idea.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Any questions?
How many banners would be displayed at one time, just so we know, like, what Public Works responsibility, time is doing this, if they do it?
I don't have an exact number, but I know, like, when you go to the football game, between both seniors and it's just seniors, football, cheerleaders, and band, they usually have about 15, 20-some banners. So it just all depends on the season and the sport. Obviously, spring, the volleyball is hung up in the gym, so you'd be adding that in too. Winter, you have basketball, you have wrestling. I believe there's a couple other things. Spring, you have tennis, you have track. fall would also add in your cross-country, which they don't get banners. Because they don't compete at home, but we would be able to acknowledge those.
I think it's good, and, you
And I counted
know,
the
we
last
haven't used
time
those
there was
poles in a while, so, and it'd be in the Hanover Township area.
Yeah, just be that 133rd right there in front of number 5. I believe there's plenty of poles. I don't think we would utilize all of them.
Okay. I mean, I think it's a great idea. I would just like to talk to Public Works and just make sure, like, this is doable. But you said if they couldn't, then the school would pay.
Right, and I would have a question actually for the attorney as well. Hey, Dave, I got a question. How would that work then, as far as if we discussed with Public Works on them putting it up versus can the school put the banners up themselves on the light poles, being it's part of the town? Or is that an issue where it has to be Public Works?
No, you can permit, license, if you will, the school to do that.
Okay,
It'd be a grant of permission, approval.
okay. Any other discussion? Okay.
Another thought I can maybe throw out there, if it took them like an hour to put up those banners for us, maybe a fee charge to the school, athletic department.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we have one of those lift-up trucks.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Okay.
Some of your basketball players, maybe.
But there again, I think Public Works should do it, due to the fact that if we have some organization out there doing that and somebody gets hurt, that puts liability on us.
Liability anyway, Bob.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item two was actually put on the agenda that should not have been. It was basically in response to a question that a resident had at another meeting, which, by the way, it's actually in our packet, it's actually missing the Exhibit A. So we're just going to skip over item 2. So we're going to go right on to school board liaison comments. We'll start with Ms. Haskell. I should have just had you stay up there.
School starts next week. Be prepared to see buses out. Kids walk in the school, be patient. Don't pass buses when they're stopping for kids. That's all we ask.
All right, thank you. Ms. Basin.
Monday, we will have back-to-school night for MacArthur Elementary, and schools for MacArthur will officially start on Wednesday the 13th, so we're looking forward to seeing everyone back.
All right, thank you.
And I did get a email from Marion, which indicates that MacArthur parents, we are making excellent progress getting ready for a marvelous year, 2025. And it indicates that there's 362 students that are fully registered. That's amazing. 11 students are just one form away. 83 students have not started yet. We're worried you may not be returning to MacArthur. So I'd just like to add that she sent me too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Bob. All right, I have not received any written communication. Anyone else?
I'm not in receipt of anything.
All right, we will move on to public comment for Redevelopment Commission.
Good evening, Pat Conlon, 12516 Havenwood Pass, here, Cedar Lake. Just a couple questions more than comment. I know when I was on Redevelopment Commission many years ago, we created several TIF districts. But my question is, when does the 133rd TIF district sunset? Do you know what, we still have 5 years on that maybe? Does that sound right?
It's not a lot of years, Pat. It's short.
Okay, so then I guess my next question, follow-up to that is, for the state statute, can we, once it has sunsetted, can we reestablish it in the same boundaries?
You can with a separation of time.
How much time do you know?
It's at least a year. I have not looked recently, but it's at least a year.
Okay, I guess then third and final, I guess, would be, what, I don't know, and I don't need an answer tonight, but what would be the pleasure of this commission to recreate the TIF district once it has sunsetted after we wait a year? I mean, that's in my opinion, it's just a revenue stream that you can't afford to not capture anymore.
Well, you're not gonna...
Granted, the assessed value, you'll start at zero again, I get it.
Well, you won't start at zero, you'll start at what the assessed value is
At
at
the time.
the day it
Yeah,
starts.
but I guess an increment then
Yeah.
for the next 30 years or whatever,
Yeah.
25 years, so.
I don't think it would be a bad idea if you're asking for
Right.
my opinion,
Yeah. Okay.
but you would expect a drop in revenue, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. But even with the drop in revenues, some of the revenues then will get back to the county, which is good for the county, I guess, but, and the schools to a certain degree, I guess. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Cheryl Parker, 7227 West 136th Court. When I was here last month at the RDC meeting, I did post a question, and you were going to reply back on the resolution. Is it still stood as it was in 2022?
Is that what the-
2022-2-RDC.
Is that what the agenda item is?
That's what I believe it was, but there's no packet with the Appendix A or Exhibit A that shows that that's the parcel that it was about. So I don't have it in here to say, yes, that was definitely it.
Is that Potawatomi Park?
Yeah.
And the Public Works parcel,
Yeah.
2 Public Works parcels.
Right.
So we don't know if it's still standing as a resolution, it's still there, it has never been coming back to the town.
Sure, I hate to do this to you. Could you be a little more clear about what your question is? I'm trying to...
Well, I had asked last time if the resolution that the town council passed, if it had ever been moved back to, out of the RDC. That was my question.
I did look at this, and I believe it did. I will produce the documents over here from our files
Okay.
about that, so that you can have a copy of it.
All right, any other public comment for Redevelopment Commission?
I'm a new resident of Cedar Lake, and this is the first time I'm attending a meeting, so I don't know your protocol, so forgive me if I screw up.
So basically, ma'am, it would be anybody coming up to the podium would give name and address for the record.
Perfect. Cecilia Bragg, B-R-A-G-G, 10203 West 135th Avenue, right off of King Drive. Something that my new subdivision is completed. It's Centennial Villas. Last weekend, they blacktopped it. It looks gorgeous. So, but I have a few questions. What I can see from my house is that King Drive is barricaded. To be this close and not to be able to drive straight through and have to go all the way around to get back to square one. So my first question is King Drive a public street?
Yes, it will be. Dave, do you remember what the specifics are as far as the build-out on Beacon West, on when that was gonna connect? Because I know, the subdivision to the north of there was not completely built out yet, so it didn't have the top coat on the road, so they didn't want construction traffic coming in, tearing stuff up. So that's the majority of the reason why it was barricaded. But once more of Beacon West got built out, I don't know what the timing on it was, though.
I don't think there was. Wasn't this standalone subdivision? It was not a PUD.
Right.
Hence, the zoning and the plating stay on the ground until changed or otherwise moved by town council, plan commission, authorization.
Yeah, and I believe Tim Kubiak would know a little bit more on what the progress is on Summer Winds, which is, that's the subdivision that wasn't at 80% built out to get the top coat done. So there's a lot of that that gets taken into consideration. It eventually will be connected.
What's eventually?
What's it?
What's eventually?
That I do not know, ma'am.
So, ma'am, I can speak a little bit on this. I think that was the Summer Winds developer that has that barricaded.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to open up for reasons, as Mr. Teal stated. However, the problem we have is that I think that developer is not really responsive to the plan commission for this town right now.
I've gotten a few emails that I'm working on, and you've gotten a few phone calls.
Yeah, I think Ben has some information as well.
Because your neighbors to the north of you there have a lot of concerns about that development and the items that are outstanding, public infrastructure that needs to be complete. That's not us holding it up, Dave. We have any control over that?
No, you don't, as long as they're within the time period for that period of the project. We do have, I don't know if it's maintenance or performance, surety. So we can find that out easily from our staff.
We have,
One or the
last
other.
I checked, we had $538,000 in surety for summer winds.
So there's some
For
money
performance.
available for the continuing finish or completion of the project. And if the developer doesn't do it, then we use the money that they provide us to do it.
Right, Ben, you had something to add?
Yeah, that developer is supposed to be at the plan commission meeting tomorrow night, or the work session tomorrow night. And I think to answer some questions about that road being barricaded and what his intentions are.
Yeah, and that's the meeting tomorrow, then it's at 6, right?
Yeah.
Well, and my question also is, where else in Cedar Lake is a public street closed? So it's only acceptable to a subdivision exclusively. My concern too is, I've been there since May 15th on my block, 135th Avenue. We have had the ambulance, which the fire department can, conform 4 times. Along with the ambulance comes the fire truck. And once again, here's a couple block area that they can come off of 133rd, but they have to go all the way around. I'm surprised too that a subdivision is only allowed one exit out. High school. We see shooters, multiple shooters all the time. I've seen tornadoes here. So to be able to get out of a subdivision, I'm surprised there's only one exit or someone. So I see that, as a concern, as a new citizen here. And my other question, who maintains King Drive through that subdivision? The developer does it, or does the town do it?
The developer does it right now until we accept the roads.
So they're in charge of King Drive, their 4-block area, 3-block area. Is that what I'm understanding?
It's because the subdivision is still incomplete.
I walked that subdivision. If you could see the open lots, I guarantee you would not live there, because there's a factory and it makes noise 24/7. So I would not build a $500,000 home to have my backyard with noise 24/7.
What is that noise coming from?
It's a company there. I'm not for sure of the name. I'd have to go out to the division and see it up from 133rd.
I've asked for that developer to come into the plan commission, because I walked out there and there's, curbs are broken and, there's things that need to be fixed, and Nick's gone out there, and I think Greg's gone out there, and
There was an awful lot of discussion with that developer before that subdivision was approved about the industrial park being there already, and he fully acknowledged that the industrial park was there and wanted to build a subdivision anyway, so.
Well, and that's understandable, and I'm thinking of a homeowner. In fact, there's a house, a villa, or, I'll call it a villa, 2 units, and she has it for $360,000. I'd be interested if she could sell it with all the noise coming from the industrial park that's behind it.
I would advise you, ma'am, to come to that plan commission meeting tomorrow night at 6 PM. Town manager stated the developer is supposed to be there.
What time is the meeting?
6 o'clock.
Yeah, in these, yes, ma'am.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Bob Grosek, 14055 Deodore. While we have the school reps here, I have a question for the chief. Is there a ordinance in Cedar Lake for e-bikes on sidewalks?
That I gotta look it up. I'd have to look the
I think that's something that should be brought up here and also at a town council possibly meeting, just for the fact, for safety purposes, those e-bikes are very fast. And if you have students walking on sidewalks coming to and from school, I would think that you would want to have some things for safety for the students. Am I correct?
I believe there was a draft ordinance proposed before your time, chief.
Carl was looking at it.
Yeah, I think the deputy chief has it, Brittingham, and it's something that was brought to our attention earlier this year.
Around all over the
Yeah,
place.
and then we had an incident up here at the park.
Yeah.
Someone did get hit on Parish over by Beacon Central.
Yeah.
It just was proposed.
Yeah, we didn't even, I don't even think we even, I think it was internally proposed.
Correct.
It wasn't done here at a council meeting, it was something that was proposed at the time, and it just never gained any traction.
Sure,
You
I
know?
think it's something to be looked at, that's all, I mean, moving forward,
Mhm.
because they are pretty fast.
Yeah.
And you don't want to see any kid to get hurt.
They're silent, yeah.
Pardon?
They're quiet, you don't hear them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, last call for public comment for Redevelopment Commission. Nobody online? All right, this meeting is adjourned at 7:11. We're gonna have a recess,
About 5 minutes.
5-minute recess before council meeting starts.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Cedar Lake Town Council meeting for August 5th, 2025. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for an opening prayer? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For this evening's opening prayer, I wish to share with you the words of Henry Emerson Fosdick.
And you are the chaplain of the Cedar Lake Police Department.
Yes, I'm Ken Gillis. Thank you. Let us pray. God of grace and God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring her bud to glorious flower. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the facing of this hour. Lo, the hosts of evil are around us, scorn thy Christ, assail his ways. From the fears that long have bound us, free our hearts to faith and praise. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage for the living of these days. Cure thy children's warring madness, bend our pride to thy control. Shame our wanton selfish gladness, rich in things and poor in soul. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, lest we miss thy kingdom's goal. Set our feet on lofty places, gird our lives, that they may be armored with all Christ-like graces in the fight to set all free. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, that we fail not man nor thee. Save us from weak resignation to the evils we deplore. Let us search for your salvation, be our glory evermore. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, serving thee, whom we adore. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This meeting is called to order at 7:23 p.m. Roll call, please, Ms. Sandberg.
Robert Carnahan?
Here.
Julie Rivera?
Here.
Nicholas Recupero?
Here.
Chuck Becker?
Here.
Greg Parker?
Here.
Mary Jo Dixon? Here. Richard Beal?
Here.
I am present. Benjamin Eldridge?
Present.
David Austin?
Present. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, we will open up the floor to public comment on agenda items only. Public comment on agenda items only. I just want to let everybody know, I see some familiar faces in the room. I'm sure that a handful of you are here for the Monsanto class action settlement. There won't be a decision made tonight. That will be discussed by the council today on what we have going on. But you're free to speak on agenda items. State your agenda item, name and address for the record, please, and please follow the 3-minute rule.
You betcha.
Thank
First
you.
of all, John Foreman, 12745 Parish Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303. Hello, everybody. Nice to see all of you. Rich, nice shirt. Appreciate that. And no, we didn't text one another. So anyhow, long story short, 3 minutes is short, but I'm here for the Monsanto discussion. Years ago, we had a plan. No matter what you do in life, sports, work, business, vacation, you have a plan. You try to follow the plan to the best of your ability. We had a plan to learn about other successful communities. Past councils went down to Carmel. We learned a ton about TIF, and et cetera. We went to Lake Geneva. We learned how lake communities work. It was a wonderful experience. In addition to that, when I first got into office, we had a plan with the Army Corps of Engineers that just wasn't feasible. We finally worked really, really hard, diligently. I personally went with Jennifer Sandberg to Washington, D.C., met with the Corps, went to Chicago multiple times, took our state reps, took our state senators. We had a plan. And so I'm so happy. Congratulations to all of you for the Monsanto $2 million. Thank you for receiving it. This is wonderful, wonderful news. Perhaps a lot of people had negativity about taking the $2 million from the lake water sewage treatment, et cetera, when we use it for the lake. And the point of the matter is, we all know, everyone sitting here, especially Mary Jo Dixon, who grew up in Meyer Manor, how green that lake was when we were young. Bob doesn't remember, because after the roller skating rink, he pretty much went home probably. But it was a bad lake.
I lived in that lake.
And we completely, with a little bit of dredging we did, which is maybe half, a couple 100,000 cubic yards, completely made a difference. If any of you would like to see the difference in water quality, just think if we finish it. And lastly, my final point, please utilize that money wisely. Future generations depend on Chuck, depend on Bob, depend on Greg, Nick, Mary Jo, Rich, for a dewatering facility to be used again and again. This is the beginning. The lake's 2 million years plus old, I think, and the Historical Society probably has info on that. 2 million years. Winds out of the west, the south, chuck it up the lake. We started a plan. Let's keep the plan. Future generations deserve it. Thank you all for accepting the money. That was in the notes for what we wanted to do with it, so congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Come on up one by one and state your name and address for the record and agenda item you'd like to speak about, please.
My name is Phil Gores. I'm 13546 Beach Place, Sea Lake, Indiana. I'm really confused. Was that an agenda item? Because I don't see it on here. Are we talking about that or not?
Well, it's on our agenda as an update, or as a discussion item.
Okay.
So you folks are free to speak on.
So should we take a discussion for that later, or?
Well, so what we have is we have public comment on agenda items first.
Okay.
So anything that follows that on the agenda, you all can speak on. And then after the end of the agenda, we have public comment, just in general.
Okay, great. Thanks for explaining that.
You're welcome.
It's great what John said. I've been here for 2.5 years. I can't get an answer out of what the plan is or isn't from anyone, whether it's current or old board, if that makes sense. So it's hard to support or understand what's really going on with this lake issue and sewer issue without that plan. So since John is a past council member, I know we have past council members that run that board too. Where is that plan? Are we ever going to see that plan?
What specifically? There's a lot of information available online from when we started the dredging, so what?
Your complete plan that John is discussing, saying that you had, that you want to follow and you want to see finished, where is that?
I mean, it's probably online, we could get it to you, I'm not sure if they took it off. But basically, we wanted to dredge more, but the funds we had in place, we allowed for a certain amount of dredging, paid for the dewatering facility. Alum treatment is something that we were trying to secure funds from, whether for the state, county. So I guess, a short answer is, we did a lot of dredging. We were gonna complete our phase 1 of the dredging. Army Corps has always said we should finish it up with alum treatment, so that was in like a 15-year study with Army Corps. The thing we applied for, the Monsanto funds in 2023, asked for $1 million to do even more dredging than what we had in phase 1. Another $1 million for alum treatment to mitigate all the algae, everything. So we had our initial plan that we had funded. Anything else we were going to get from county, from state, that would just add icing on the cake as far as the alum treatment, plantings along the banks, things of that nature.
Okay, so you have your plan, and obviously work was completed from that council that was up there.
It was stopped, yeah.
Stopped, completed, there was a portion of it that was completed, right? Mm-hmm. So there's got to be detailed accounting, finances, reports, things of that nature of the work that was done and was not done, or proposed things moving forward. Where do we get that information? Where is that made available to us from the past town council?
You could do a FOIA if you have specifics you're asking for.
Well, why don't you guys provide it all?
I can send you newspaper articles.
No, your actual plan and report of everything that you guys did. The reason why this town council flipped was people were really unhappy. From my understanding, I've only been here 2.5 years.
Yeah, you've only been here 2.5 years.
So the reason this board council flipped was because people were unhappy and very concerned about the decisions that were being made. So where's that information about the work you guys have completed?
You're asking for a ton of information, and there's a ton of information out there. We have videos on YouTube, there are articles in the Post-Tribune, you can go to the museum.
If I understand correctly, you don't have that information, we have to do the homework ourselves.
The homework,
You're telling me I have to watch YouTube videos, find newspaper articles,
if you
all that
want
kind of stuff about the work
everything in one
that you guys completed?
place, we can definitely dig into that. There were so many phases. There was the Army Corps plan, which we took a lot of pieces from. There's the contract with Dredge America. There's CLIA, the Cedar Lake.
Okay, just to clarify, because I don't want to take up too much time, because it's, we got to get this meeting moving, and I want to be respectful of everyone's time. There is not a comprehensive report that explains the work that was done, the work that was supposed to be done, and an accounting of financials that went with that.
There's an accounting of financials, correct, Jennifer, of what was spent?
Oh, yeah, it's related to the phase 1 that was approved with Dredge America and things like that.
Okay. Right.
So I can make a request to you guys and ask for all that information. I shouldn't have to do a FOIA, I shouldn't have to do my homework.
If I were you, I'd do a FOIA, because it sounds like you want a ton of pieces of information
Right.
that is not found in one, I don't have a binder, is what I'm saying. I know you've only been here 2
Allow me to
years.
explain the reason for my questions, because this is the first time that a past council member has actually come up here and defended the work that was done. Normally, we can't get an answer out of past council members. So I'm just trying to figure out what John is describing, where that plan is, and where I can review it and understand it to make a decision of what I want to support and not support.
What we had happen, we had Frank Mervan's representative, Mark Larson and Elizabeth Johnson. Mark Lopez and Elizabeth Johnson, who came and told us that we should have never done what we did. We should have followed the Army Corps of Engineers. They told that at a meeting, correct?
Yeah, I was in that.
You're absolutely right.
Right, for political reasons, that went down. But again, Christopher Burke Engineering has the plan, Jennifer has the...
Right, I'm looking for what the past council's plan was. What you
Okay,
guys
the
decided
Christopher
was.
Burke Engineering
So
plan.
if I can make a request somewhere, I'll do that.
Do a
but,
FOIA
you
request
know.
for what Christopher...
I mean, I could just ask John, it sounds like he knows everything.
Well, he does. He knows a
Okay,
lot.
great, thank
Bob
you.
Gross also knows a
Thank you,
lot.
sir.
Okay.
Anything else? I'll give you more than 3 minutes if you would like to go.
No, like I said, I just clarifying question, and I don't want to take up everybody's time, so I just, that's all.
Yeah, what we voted for is the question. What we voted for is the question.
Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Terry Broadhurst, 2123 Arthur Avenue, representing my property at 14513 Moore Street here in Cedar Lake. Talking about this, or I'm sorry, listening to this, there's a couple things I'd just like to bring to the surface. There are some positives here. John brought up the fact that we have this dewatering facility, which is like the 12th wonder of the world. And it's reusable, exactly as he said. We could be dredging the lake on a slower basis on an ongoing process, where it would be more feasible. I've heard people talk in the room when we had the DNR out here, they talked about, why don't we use gravity, put a hose in the deepest part, let the gravity slide it down once we suck it out every spring or every fall, let it come down, and with that dewatering facility, we have the location to put the substance down. Now, if there's, did I hear something like $2 million that's been granted?
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly, that could be used for a more permanent structure for the actual hosing and piping, maybe do it underground. We had access to go under the railroad tracks and stuff, but they took that stuff out. Think about how much it would cost to put it back. Maybe we go take one step backwards and rethink the dredge. Maybe it's not a bad idea to do it at a slower pace. Knowing that what happened was probably not the best plan, but making a bad plan better is better than throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So I'm hoping that maybe with that $2 million, maybe we can look at some permanent piping to do a more comprehensive plan towards dredging on a longer basis and an ongoing plan. Maybe we could get more people involved that way as donors. I know there's a lot of people in here that support the dredge. Maybe if it didn't cost so much each time we put a hose in the lake, maybe it'd be easier to get done. Thank you.
Terry,
Yes.
one of the things I'm suggesting that we do is we have a street sweeper, and we have it was in the shop for a year. We got it back, it was out there for what, 2-3 weeks, Ben?
Is that out of the shop?
No, when it came back, and then we had to put it right back in.
It was back for a very brief time before I did that.
And I think we ought to purchase a street sweeper so that we're not letting stuff that is in the road go back into that lake.
That definitely would be a great preventative.
And then another thing, we got a Lear grant to put plants in across from the chamber. Those all died, and now every time it rains, we have mud coming into the lake, which is defeating the whole process of what we did in the past.
Sounds like a great place to put $2 million and stop.
Well, these are just a couple of suggestions.
Thank you, though, Bob. I appreciate that. And yes, a street sweeper would definitely help with preventative sediment going in. But it wouldn't stop what we have now.
We did get approval to get money in a grant that was filled out by Indiana Clean Cities But then he told me the federal funds were cut, so we don't have those funds. So I want to get something because all that stuff is going in the lake and I want to stop it.
Yeah, I love Bob's mentality, he never gives up. And if we all take that page out of his book, maybe we'll get it done.
Another thing, when Kirsten Smith was here as the town manager's administrative assistant, I had her look everywhere she possibly could to get more money to continue the dredging. And if this money would have came sooner, we could have used that money to continue it. But Julie just told me it's gonna cost $1 million to deploy the equipment again.
I'd much rather see a permanent structure put in place with that $1 million and then do it at a slower pace, Bob.
And then Brian Cubo's dad, Jimmy Cubo, had suggested years ago to me to put a lift on the dam and have a container there and raise that up and let that sediment go in there and then lift that sediment out and remove it and then close the dam. I thought that was a nice idea that Jimmy Cubo's dad, or that Brian Cubo's dad, Jimmy Cubo, suggested.
And that's my point, but there's a lot of people that are vested in wanting a clean lake. And I think with the great plan, I think we could probably get a lot closer to getting it done. And thank you.
And we also asked one of our state reps last night if the state could consider getting funds to do some of this dredging. We spend a lot of money on.
That's a tough sell right now, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you,
Thank you, Terry.
How you guys doing? Rich Laudermilk, 8503 West 131st Place. The first thing I would worry about beyond the street sweeper is actually cleaning out the catch basins.
We're doing that.
Yeah, I live at the end of a street on the lake, at the bottom of a hill. My catch basin has been full, actually probably 3 or 4 of them have been full for 5 years. Has not been cleaned in years.
And what's your
Every time
address?
it rains,
Give me your address.
131st Place, West Side Lake. Okay, beyond that, part of the dredging project, you guys are talking about aluminum, okay? Can we call it what it really is? It's aluminum sulfate, right? Okay. No, aluminum sulfate is what it is. Okay, what happens when we put that in the lake? That aluminum sulfate is going to be a chemical reaction, right? It's going to attach and adhere to all the phosphorus that is loose in the lake, and it's going to create aluminum phosphate, right? Okay, aluminum phosphate is a carcinogen. It causes skin irritation, eye irritation. If you breathe it in, drink it, anything, upper respiratory issues, liver disease, kidney issues. Why are we going to dump this into our lake when the whole reason we have this problem is because we're dumping shit in the lake, right? Where'd the phosphorus come from? Sewage, human shit. Why are we going to dump more chemical in? Okay, at this point, our lake is as clean as it's going to get. We can continue to keep dredging over years and years and years. Okay, the more we dredge, the cleaner it gets. The more we dredge, the cleaner it gets. Yes, it's going to get dirty when we dredge because we're kicking that shit up. All the mud, all the soot, all the sand, all the rock, everything in the bottom of the lake, it's going to get stirred up. It settles. The whole hardening of the bottom of the lake, I was talking to Mr. Foreman. He says this will harden 3 to 4 inches. It lasts 50 years, right? Okay, right now as it sits, I live on the lake. I have a boat, a standard 16-foot inboard, outboard, right? The most standard boat you could get, beyond a bass boat. I hit the bottom of the lake. Multiple locations. So yeah, we could put this in the bottom of the lake, and guess what's going to happen? It's going to get stirred up. It's going to be floating around in the water. Young children are going to drink it, ingest it, and we are going to have a major fucking problem.
I just want to clarify something. We're not acting on this money tonight.
No, absolutely. I want you guys to be 100% informed.
Well, what I want to reference for people is the meeting that we had here in these chambers back in March 26th of 2024 when the DNR was here, and the experts had a lot to say to it. I would say before we act on anything that people need to watch that and see their opinion on some of the stuff, whether it's dredging, no wake zones, the alum treatment, all that stuff.
The only way I see that you guys can clean the lake properly is by a consistent smaller dredge, or you say, hey, for 5 years there's going to be no lake. You drain the whole fucking thing down, and you put bulldozers in there, you push it all to the south end and conveyor it to the train. You pay to remove it. Those are the only two options. You can't put chemical in the lake. You know, that is gonna affect more than just, yes, I understand we want a clean lake because there's property owners that wanna sell and wanna get top dollar for their property. Okay, this is not the way to do it, not at the cost of every other taxpayer in the town of Cedar Lake. So, absolutely, guys, I appreciate your guys' time. I hope you guys all can think on this and the future possibilities. You know, there's always a better option than just dumping for a quick fix. Obviously, with the planning commission, right? We don't want quick fixes. We want permanent fixes. We want good fixes. You guys just replaced the culvert down at the south end of the lake. That was an old culvert, almost over 100 years old, right? You guys got that done within a day. The parks, the town, the street department was down there. They got it cleaned up. They put it together. Looks great. You know, that's going to last another 100, 150 years before we have to sit down and think about it. So let's not make a mess of our lake when we're already there.
There'll be a lot of discussion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Also from Mr. Goers, there is the Cedar Lake Restoration Dredging Plan for Christopher Burke Engineering that might help. It's on the Cedar Lake IN.gov website. It's like an 18-page PowerPoint that they presented. I believe they presented it in public, so that kind of helps spell out the terms, but again, there's multiple documents.
Anybody else for public comment on agenda items only? Last call, agenda items only. Do you have anything, anybody online? Okay. Public comment?
I'll be quick.
Okay.
Brian Kubel, 7600 West 136th Court. Last time I was here was when we were deciding what to do with the dredging that was out there. Unfortunately, we lost it. For whatever reason, we lost it. I thought we were on a roll, and we weren't. This money came out of from what I read and understand, Chris Solis, I don't know if I said his name right, but hats off to him for going after this money, and
actually, it was Don Oliphant.
Yeah, it was our engineer.
Don Oliphant went after the money.
Yeah.
He's the one that did the...
I'm trying to say his name, I guess I didn't say it right.
You were saying the town manager's name.
I'm sorry. What his
Chris
name
and
is?
Don work together on that.
Chris, right?
It was Don
Well, I'm
Oliphant.
reading, hold on.
Don Oliphant was a gentleman that submitted the application
He's
for
our
us on
engineer.
behalf of the town,
Okay.
the engineer.
Well, whoever did it, great. I'm just happy that they did it. I'm glad we came across this money. It's a good thing to have and, I guess, debate about, but I'm going to be quick about it. I know, I'm sure all you know how I feel about it. I just grew up in this town. I've been here I'm 68, so I've swam in that lake my whole life. It's not just about my property being on the lake and I want this and that. I'm highly allergic to algae. I get sick. I've been in the hospital over it, whatever, but I refuse to give up on it. So I still go on the lake. But long story short, I just think that this money has to be put back into this lake. That's what we're here today about, and that's my opinion. I just feel like whatever we decide how to use it on the lake is going to have to be determined. But that lake is our ace in the hole, and that's why I live here, and I think that's why a lot of people live here. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Said nobody online, right?
Here comes another.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Doug Spencer. I live at 8506 West 81st Lane, west side of the lake there. I was on the committee that was working on this lake. The reason I was on this committee is I've got 20 years in wastewater treatment at BP Amoco, and I've got 15 years of wastewater treatment. I ran the plant at US Steel. So I'm very familiar with alum. In those both places, we used alum a lot. Alum works so good that it was tough to use in the industry. And why it's been so good, it'll drop the solids, your suspended solids in the water, out of the water. You'll get a pretty clean lake. The problem comes in is, he had a good point there, it will get shallow water, but it'll grab that down and it'll lock it down pretty good. little bit of the problem there is we have a lot of rogue fish in that lake, carp and what have you, and they can stir up that water, and that can stir up that alum. The alum gets active in the summertime in a lake because of the heat and what have you, and that pH changes in the water there. Now, as far as whether or not alum is safe or not, you can go to Stratton Van Tills and buy alum to use in your deodorant. You can buy alum to use in your cooking and what have you. I happen to bring this pitch up here for you guys to...
You can buy cigarettes too at Strax too, and people will debate whether those are not.
Right. Now, the alum can be a little carcinogenic or whatever when you first treat it for the first day, 2 days. You should because you have a heavy dose going on, and then after that it pretty well settles out. So alum is a great product for that. He had a good point at the beginning there, is that maybe we should take this money, put that into a committee to treat on that lake, because we're so focused on dredge that we miss the whole big story there. And the big story is, you've been over at the wastewater treatment plant in Lowell.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those API separators? Remember those where it floated, those DAS systems that floated up the solids?
Yep.
And then the heavies went down. They had a way to scrape out those things. You don't have it on a lake, the way to scrape it out, but you do have a dredge. So you pull it out from there. Now, we also have a 400-acre, what am I looking for? The wetlands to help us treat that water. Now, we didn't go and look at changing that down there. It was discussed, and it's also was very much discussed in the Army and Corps of Engineers. They talked about that wasteland there. I mean, the
wetland?
Yes, the wetland.
Yeah.
Now, that's a big tool right there, those wetlands. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Bob, didn't we run that water out of our dredging site there and run it back to the wetlands?
That's how it was supposed to be.
Is to have the wetlands help treat the water before it came back into the lake. Because all you're doing is you're pulling up the mud and also the phosphorus or what have you that is in that lake there, and you're bringing that into the dredging site there, or the dump site. So that sludge is coming on back through again or whatever. But that's like a wide spot in the line that sinks, drops it right down, and that's what it's designed for. But anyway, we can get in the committee and take plans. But in that plan, there's a lot of companies out there that handle the restoration of lakes. There's Restoration Services, there's Evergreen Lake Services. I did bring in a company that does aeration systems, and that was to help the growth of microorganisms. You're familiar with the microorganisms over there at the waste treatment plant. That's how they get rid of the stinky bad stuff that people put in their toilets. Is microorganisms. That's what's in your gut, microorganisms, and that's what is needed for the lake too. Those microorganisms, if they can grow, the fish will eat them, and the bigger fish will eat those fish. Now, the rogue fish, we need to get rid of that. So, alum is, but if you want a clean lake and put alum in, and strictly go right back to that again, you'll get a clean lake. It might be a little shallower, but you'll get a very clean lake. And that will pull the phosphates out of the water and also any other suspended solid in there. So it's
Well, as I stated, sir, if and when comes a time when we spend that money, we will be doing this at a public meeting, of course, and there will be a chance for us to debate how that money's used at that point as well.
Right. And I guess, and also, there are other companies, because phosphate has become a problem for waste streams coming out of different plants as well as different municipal plants and what have you. And the restrictions have got to come down. The restrictions have brought the numbers down. You can't put that, the phosphates back into the streams and end up back into the, back into the lakes and or back into the rivers that ends up back into the, into the ocean.
Yeah.
And it's become a big problem. And there's companies that can, that have an alternative to the alum. We used to stop using alum, we used a lot of powders. Now, is that because our chemical companies wanted to sell us more product or what have you? Because we spend a lot of money on chemicals there. It's tough to say, but anyway, there's a lot of polymers out there, and I've seen ATS, Innova company is a big one that but those companies need to be to research. Those all kind of get, the community's got to do research on all these different ways before we act on further.
Sure.
And it's not just dredge. Not that I can't say that the lake could use some dredging because it is getting shallower. I remember when I first started boating here, I saw, 19, 20 feet on a lake where it kind of squeezed together there. We're down to maybe 12.
Yeah.
That's quite, and I'm talking about maybe 12 to 15 years.
The deepest spot in the lake is 16 foot, and that map over there, I think, Bob, you provided us with that map. It shows the depth of the lake, and the overall average is only 8 feet deep in the lake.
And I believe that it's there anymore, because I've seen the change in the depth of the lake.
Right, of the 16 feet, and it's just a small
I was
pocket.
at 19. I'm talking 19, 20. Of course, that's my depth, I'm flying around I have 2 different boats that I've had.
Yeah, it's a clay kettle lake that was formed by the glaciers, just like Lake Michigan, and there wasn't any sand in there. People have brought sand in. The sand wasn't there when the ice formed, and it was called the Clay Kettle Lake by the professors that came to our lake enhancement meeting.
I've got sand under my feet when I'm walking out in the lake.
Yeah, because it's there.
And I'm on the west side. I don't think anybody dumped it there, but I've got sand under my feet now. I've also got green algae on my feet too. There's a lot of algae in the lake, and that is something that needs to be looked at for safety for people who are swimming in the lake, especially since we've got a nice swimming area right out here.
And part of the problem out here, that sand we brought in too and put out there, and we've got a sign out there that it's highly recommended that you wear shoes out there because boats throw beer bottles in, and we got glass coming up there constantly.
We gotta keep moving along here, folks. We appreciate your comments, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Spencer. Yeah.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
Bob Gross, 8505 West 140th Avenue. I'm just here really, to keep it under 3 minutes. I wanted to remind you guys of a few statements that were made on March 5th meeting. He stated there has been talk of other funding sources. He thinks it's great if others were to contribute. He stated that if that were to happen, it would be wonderful. We'd move on with the project. That was Mr. Parker. I have that in the minutes that I printed today.
Bob, let me stop you right there, and I'm going to stop the clock. That's absolutely true. And we tried to get the $1 million. And I wasn't going to say too much in that, but we tried to get the $1 million that you said was available from the county. And they flat out refused.
I know.
If they had given us that $1 million, the project would have kept going.
Right.
It may have even kept going to this point for the other $2 million. The only problem that most of this council has ever had is using sewer money to dredge the lake.
I understand. I know what your problem was. Now we have $2.2 million. Unfortunately, I heard from the superintendent of Dredge America, they offered to leave their pipe from my marina to the dewatering facility on a Zoom call or a phone call. I don't know which one it was. And they stated one of the council members says, no, take it and go.
That never happened.
I never heard that.
That was the superintendent of Dredge
Any
America.
call that I was in, Bob was there, and Bob just said it didn't happen.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, it didn't happen.
Well, that's what the superintendent.
I'm hearing it from you for the first time.
Well, I don't know why you would say that. But
I don't know either.
because they said to me that they were willing to leave it here in case we found additional funding. I've also heard that Senator Niemeyer was, willing to look for money. Greg, you said that he was a good guy and he's gonna help us out. Well, we didn't have a plan. You gotta go to the state with a plan. So here is Cedar Lake's plan. We don't have an ecosystem restoration committee anymore, which I was a part of. Doug was a part of it, Dan was a part of it, Julie, Bob, and so on. You have to have a plan for them to give you money. They don't just send you money.
I
What was the plan then?
Well, the plan was that we had everything here and everything was set up and we were continuing to dredge.
It was the same plan that
They
Mr. Foreman
wouldn't give us any
earlier.
money, and then whoever had this $1 million funding source wanted us to spend $1 million of the ratepayer sewer money in order to get the $1 million match. What's that about?
Well, I understand.
It was all in motion at that time when we were scrambling for funds.
This has nothing to do with Jerry Tippy. He told me up front. That's why I told you. He said, if they stop this project, I'm not giving them the million. I told you, he said that.
Yeah.
And that wasn't.
I was told that
to me.
from him too, yeah.
Because I was at a Republican fundraiser and talked to him about it.
Yeah.
But now we have that money. So here's my thoughts. I hope you guys still support the lake. It's our economic engine. It's the future of our town. Just like Doug said, it's getting shallower. Whether we dredge right away, I don't know. But we're gonna spend a lot of money to mobilize and demobilize again. But use that money to go out and try to use that for leverage to get more money. Let's go ahead and move forward with everybody saying, well, we got all the sedimentation happening at the north end of the lake and Sleepy Hollow Ditch. Use that money for match money with Lair. Lair has money, they will give it to us. You just have to have match money. We got hundreds of thousands of dollars of grants for erosion, non-point source projects over the years, and CLIA matched it financially, and the town of Cedar Lake matched with some excavators and, street department, and that helped us get some of those projects done. Now's the time to do that. You've got the match money. Let's get a committee together. Let's move forward, keep that money in an interest-bearing account where you can use it as match, and let's try to get state funding to match. Maybe they'll match $2.2 million now if you give that to Senator Niemeyer. You can ask him, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Jerry Tippy still has money in his account. Anybody ask him? I don't know.
All right.
Because, I'm not involved anymore because there's been no meetings. There's no talk. There was no plan. And that's why Senator Niemeyer didn't send money, because there was no ask and no plan. So please, use this money to leverage more money to make this lake beautiful, and it'll help every citizen in this town. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, last call for public comment on agenda items only, though. There will be another public comment section at the end, towards the end of the meeting. Seeing none, we will close public comment on agenda items. Thank you all for your commentary. We'll move on to consent agenda. Number 1, minutes, June 17, 2025 and July 1st, 2025. 2 claims, all town funds, $393,988.51. Wastewater operating, $74,191.20. Water utility, $85,570.47. Stormwater, $11,905.17. And payroll, July 17, 2025, July 31st, 2025, August 1st, 2025, $641,420.78. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
There was a tie. All right, my right ear's better. Motion made by Mr. Parker, seconded by Mr. Teal to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Mary Jo?
Yes. Richard Buse?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rocupido?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Thank you.
Delayed.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to new business, permission request to display Hanover High School senior banners on light poles. For those of you that weren't in attendance for the RDC meeting, actually, Ms. Haskell's here. You're still here. Okay, good evening. Let
You want me to
everybody,
explain it again?
if you could, please, for those that weren't here.
All right, so our seniors who are in sports, the Hanover trustees would like to include seniors that are in clubs also. But if you ever go to a sporting event, you'll see senior banners hanging in the gym, hanging at the football field, tennis court, soccer field, baseball, softball. But you only get to see those if you're at those games. Hanover School Board had an idea since the light poles down 133rd have the brackets for banners. If we put those senior banners on 133rd for the whole community to see. So that's why we're here today.
I would like to make a motion to approve Hanover School senior banners to be placed on the light pole by our Public Works.
I'll second that.
Okay. We have a motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal, to approve the request for Hanover High School senior banners to be displayed on the light poles on 133rd Avenue
Yep.
there.
Fall, winter, and then spring.
Okay.
About a month and a half, less than 2 months for each season.
And those are we don't have the big banners, they're small.
They're smaller, we just need, and I know that, Public
Tim.
Works has the measurement, we need the measurement, so when the sports this month to get their pictures done, we can get them made up.
Okay, and you can check with Tim King down at the street department.
Sounds good.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Miss Amber.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon? I think she froze again. We'll come back. Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rotudo?
Yes. We'll call it motion carrying 6-0, Miss Amber?
Yes,
Yep.
because it looks like we're losing.
She's gone.
All right, so you're gonna coordinate with, Public Works on that, and even if you need to pull Ben in? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care. Number 2, tourism fund disbursement, a request of $2,000 to support the museum at Lassen's Resorts Dewey Line. We have a couple pages here in the packet. Ben, have you talked with Mrs. Sada about this? Has she brought this to your attention?
No.
Okay. We got a request for the council to use some of the tourism funds for, it basically to be a sponsor for the Dewey Line, correct?
And I attended the Summerfest meeting, and they submitted a letter for funds, and they said they've never heard anything from us.
For Summerfest?
Yeah.
So Ben and I talked about this, I think we were gonna bring that up on the next agenda, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So Mary Jones sent me the request from the Summerfest organization. I asked for it yesterday, I think it was, Friday. She got me that request, but the agenda was already set, so that will go on the next, August 19th.
And didn't Knights of Columbus ask for some of it for their haunted forest as well?
Yes, they did. They submitted a letter.
I haven't seen it
Okay,
yet.
I thought that they submitted a letter for their haunted forest attraction.
Okay.
So I don't know how many requests that comes out to be.
That would be,
I
I've seen 2 official
I
requests,
was
Summerfest
gonna say, I
and-
was
and
not
Ball
included
Museum.
on any of the requests, so I can't tell you exactly. I just know from experience that traditionally it's museum, it's Summerfest, a couple of the other local organizations. First I'm hearing of Knights of Columbus, but nothing was sent to me directly.
Jennifer, do you know how much we have in the tourism fund?
The same amount we get every year, $4,725. But with that said, there was a request from the previous administrative assistant last year, and since that administrative assistant and that town manager are now gone, I'm going to assume that the remainder of the funds are not going to be used for whatever their intended purposes are, so you still have a little bit of last year's money left, so
I
about
was told it's
$6,000.
$1,000.
6,000?
That's what the fund balance is showing.
Okay.
So you have a teensy bit more than the actual annual distribution, if you...
And it's a little over $4,000, I believe, that we get.
$4,725.
Okay. So do we have a motion on this item?
This is for $2,000?
Correct.
I'll make a motion.
So we still have some.
Yeah.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Ms. Rivera to grant $2,000 donation in the tourism funds to support the museum at Lassen's Resort Dewey Line. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Amber.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon? Oh, lost her again. Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rocupido?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Number 3, favorable recommendation from the Parks Department to permit the sale of beer, wine, and spirits at Bands, Brews, and Bugaboos event, September 13th, 2025. We do not have Ms. Ray present. Ms. Rivera, were you at that meeting? Could you fill us in
Yeah,
on
so
that a
I
little bit, please?
think they needed our okay, for the alcohol.
Okay. That was it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And so the action item, if it were affirmative, would just be to allow.
Approved subject to compliance with the alcohol laws.
Okay.
I think that's why it's on the agenda, because of we have to okay the alcohol.
Yeah, because it's prohibited according to their town ordinance, but we do allow it to happen at different functions.
Like the Taylor Ice Fest.
And Summerfest.
Okay. Is there any other discussion on this item? If not, is there a motion to approve subject compliance to the alcohol laws?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion made by Ms. Rivera, seconded by Mr. Teal, to approve the sale of beer, wine, and spirits at Bands, Brews, and Bugaboos event on September 13, 2025, subject compliance to alcohol laws. Is that motion solid, Attorney Austin? All right, thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rocupido?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Number 4, request to waive Parks and Recreation rental fees for the Parks Foundation's fundraiser on September 27th, 2025.
So moved.
That was a quick one.
Yeah, I'll second that.
We have a motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal, to waive Parks and Recreation rental fees for the Parks Foundation fundraiser on September 27th, 2025. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rocupido?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Number 5, favorable recommendation from Board of Safety for approval of EMS billing rate and lift assist proposal. This item passed 5-0 at the Board of Safety meeting on July 23rd, 2025. Chief Mager, good evening.
Good evening, Council. Over the past few months, many hours have been invested into current budget, future budgeting, and also financial sustainability in the future with the only month's away impact of the tax reform bill, specifically Senate Bill 1. We did evaluation on our current EMS billing rates and have come up with a proposal to meet kind of what the market rate is around us, which is included in the proposal surrounding communities that provide the same service. Justification of that increase would be obviously the inflation costs over the past few years. Service demands have climbed 50% in the last 5 years. We could not find specific information, but we know for at least 5+ years there has not been a billing rate proposal increase. And also included in that would be lift assist charge after 3 occurrences within 30 days. Additionally, in that proposal is an EMS equipment replacement plan. It's a 6-year plan which would warranty basically all of our EMS equipment, which then be dedicated money within the split between the general fund and the EMS billing, non-reverting fund. That money would be earmarked towards this future plan in 2031 at early.
These figures in here for the different communities, Cedar Lake, Crown Point, and Newton and St. John and Cherville and Tri Creek and Valpo and Wheatfield and Portage, are these figures from 5 years ago, or are they the current figures?
Those are figures from actually either late '24 or early 2025, which all all communities around us are actually in evaluations as well as raising rates.
Because Valparaiso is lower than us, and that blows my mind, and it seems like St. John is probably more of what we would want to probably do.
Yeah, Valparaiso is actually in the middle of the area right now as well. We're kind of curious to see how we come about with our proposals. Instead of earmarking it specifically towards a community that's similar to us, is we did 95% of the average cost from all surrounding communities with a flat rate increase, as you'll see within the proposal.
Right. So we can't take any action on this tonight. All we can do is direct the town attorney to prepare an amendatory ordinance, and we need to give direction to the attorney on what we want to do.
Mr. President?
Yes,
there
sir.
is a current ordinance in place that I believe Mr. Austin did a draft. So the edits to that would be the rate amounts if it were to be approved. But I did attach a copy of the current ordinance within your proposal.
Thank you, sir. I have a couple of questions, Chief. I think in your presentation, which is great, what you came up with here, very detailed, the billing increases, am I to understand it does not affect Medicare and Medicaid recipients? It's self-pay and private insurance only?
Self-insurance, private insurance, self-pay, that's
Okay.
correct. Medicare and Medicaid have a flat rate across the board, what they'll pay for certain services.
Okay. Are we considering offering like a discounted resident rate, or are we just going with a flat increase right now?
This is a flat 95% of the average rate increase.
Okay.
So there is no difference. Understandably, some communities charge difference between resident and non-resident. We just charge the same across the board.
Okay. All right, thank you.
But we still won't be able to pass anything tonight because we don't have an ordinance in our package for the public to see. And so it'll have to be maybe in 2 weeks.
Right. So is that the action item then, that we have to have you draft the ordinance?
Or finalize.
I'm sorry?
Or finalize it.
Or finalize it, yeah.
Right.
Okay. And like any other ordinance, once this gets adopted, we can make tweaks to it if you see fit, or Board of Safety sees fit.
The only question I'd have, the current, Jennifer, correct me if I'm wrong, the current split board is 16%. The reason why I kicked it up to 75% for the general fund, 25% for the non-reverting fund is to get guarantee sustainability of that future plan 6 years down the road, and also our reporting program comes out of that account every year.
Okay.
So currently it is 15%.
Currently 15%
Of the annual revenue from the EMS building, that annually you guys see it on your first consent agenda gets moved to the EMS non-reverting.
Okay. I know we're considering an increase here. Are we going to have any problems with shortfalls on the general fund with taking another 10%, or is the increase in collections hopefully going to make up for
That does give me pause if the request is to move it up to a higher percentage, like 25%, especially with the unknown and without seeing what the actual revenue is, because as you can see from Mr. Mauger's proposal, the total amount we bill is not the total revenue that is actually collected. It's much, much less. So it does give me pause if we're talking about kicking it up to 25%. I do worry about general fund shortfalls in order to maintain operations within the general fund as it currently stands.
Okay.
And we only get so much money from Medicare, and we usually don't get the full amount, right?
Is that something we can work on, Chief, that, you know, a good number that sustains the general fund, but also, you know, funds that EMS non-reverting fund sufficiently?
Yeah, so within the proposal, the study, as Clerk Treasurer Sandberg said, it was based off 2024 statistics, which I believe, I can't recall the exact percentage, but I figured it at close to 60% we actually collected from what we billed. Again, that was all 2024 statistics, so yes, there could be some fluctuation, but with the average flat rate increase within the proposal, that would also bump the general fund revenue up as well. But again, as Clerk Treasurer Sandberg said, it's not guaranteed revenue, right?
Right.
It's just based off of last year's numbers.
Okay. So how do we want to proceed with this? Where you're comfortable from a budgeting perspective?
I would like to actually see some revenue coming in, so if it is your pleasure to direct the attorney to work on the EMS billing rates, absolutely, because the ordinance for the money that is transferred to the EMS non-reverting fund is actually a separate ordinance. So that is something that can be done at a later time.
Okay.
Once new rates are actually in effect, and let's say we start and we look at 6 months what's been collected, we look at 12 months and what's been collected, and then, okay, yeah, this is looking good, this is in line with what was proposed, let's kick it up.
Are you okay with that, Chief? With the intention that we would, you know, if it's sustainable, we would increase those funds going into the EMS non-reverting fund?
Correct. Within the proposal as well, I put in there, I'd like to get a full quarter before starting in 2026, so obviously if it goes through the approval process, start October 1, effective October 1, Jennifer and I would have to still talk to the billing company, let them know what the adjustments exactly are. So I believe that would give us a quarter to kind of see where we're at and help.
Yeah.
We're trying to set up what the impacts of Senate Bill 1 the next 3 years.
Sure.
What that was the justification for the EMS equipment plan to kind of lock in to protect us in 6 years. And then again, build that fund up to renew that, estimating with inflation $600,000 need in 2031. So that's our end goal, is to utilize those funds to keep doing that down the road every 6 years.
Okay. I think we have a solid game plan. Any discussion from the rest of the council? Or the attorney, you need to weigh in on this?
No, I concur fully with your clerk.
Okay.
Her recommendations too are with good, solid direction.
Okay. Any other discussion? Good.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
One more thing, do you want me to work with Jennifer or town attorney with numbers and the proposal, direction on that, please?
With numbers as far as EMS billing?
Or the ordinance.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a good plan.
Yeah, I agree.
Work with Jennifer and Dave.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all for the discussion. Do we have a motion in regards to EMS billing rate and LIFSIS proposal?
I'll make a motion that we have Nick work with Dave and Jennifer on getting this ordinance prepared and submitted to us.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal, to instruct the chief to work with the attorney and the clerk treasurer to get the EMS billing rate ordinance finalized and prepared for council approval.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Sandberg.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
That was Mr. Teal.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Richard Teal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Rotupido?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Chief. Yeah. Number 6, annual engagement with Peterson Consulting for the fiscal year 2025 capital asset update. Ms. Sandberg, would you like to take this one?
Sure. This is a recurring engagement agreement we have annually with Peterson Consulting. They're a CPA firm, and they provide a GASB 34 compliant capital asset report for us. It'll meet all state and federal reporting standards, and it's for year-end 2025. We do this so that the town is compliant and has a proper report available to be filed with the annual financial report that we do.
Thank you, ma'am. And it's a fixed fee of $3,825, is that correct?
Yes, I believe that's approximately $100, $150 increase over last year.
Okay. Thank you. Any discussion? Is there a motion on the item?
Motion to approve. Oh, sorry.
I heard Mr. Becker. You want to second that, Mr. Teal?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Motion made by Mr. Becker, seconded by Mr. Teal to approve the annual engagement with Peterson Consulting for the fiscal year 2025 capital asset update for a fixed fee of $3,825. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Richard Peet?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Repeatado?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Number 7, proposed donation of police department artifacts to the museum. Chief Grushka?
Well, with the move, this was as good a time as any. These are items that the public, the town should see. It's part of the history of the police department and of the town itself. So I think it's a good move to have that on display for everybody to see.
What kind of items are they?
There's, got them down here, there's a hat, some nightsticks, some radios, patches, some newspaper articles, just some photos, there's things around that just show how the police department's changed over the years.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Do we have a motion on this item?
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Parker, to approve the donation of police department artifacts to the museum. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Sandberg.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Richard Peet?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Repeatado?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Number 8, 133rd Avenue Road Reconstruction Wetland Credit Agreement.
I have some things here. This is for the raising up of 133rd, and we're purchasing wetlands, and it's $90,000 an acre, and it's going to cost us for the 2/10 of an acre of $27,000. And I believe that once you purchase wetlands, they have to move wetlands to some other part, and it doesn't have to be in our area, but it's got to go to another part, some part of the state. And the EPA letter indicated that the address was 2131, or 2133, where it should have been 133rd.
Okay.
But I talked to Monica about that, and she said that's their typo, not ours.
This is probably a requirement for getting the matching monies for this project?
Yeah, for the Northern Indiana Regional Planning money that we received.
So do they make wetlands somewhere? Is that what
Yeah,
they do?
that's what they usually do. They do it somewhere else.
Yeah.
They eliminate wetlands on the side of 133rd there, and then they move them, create wetlands somewhere else. I believe that's correct, right, Dave?
It is.
Yeah?
Yeah, long time common practice.
Yeah, I've heard
It
it,
is.
I've never acted on it, but,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, we need to do it in order to get the job done, right? Thank you for the explanation, Mr. Carnahan. Mr. Eldridge, did you have anything to add? No? Okay. Anyone else have anything to add? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve 133rd Avenue Road Reconstruction Wetland Credit Agreement.
I'll second it.
We have a motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Parker, to approve the 133rd Avenue Road Reconstruction Wetland Credit Agreement. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Amber.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Richard Seal?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Discussion items.
Mr. President, if I may add real quick, Mary Joan did text saying that she did lose signal, just so everyone knew.
Is she gonna be gone for the rest?
Yeah, she said she's sorry, but she can't get back on.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Discussion items, Monsanto class action settlement. Mr. Eldridge?
Well, everybody knows we received, I think, a little over $2 million for this class action lawsuit. It was applied for with the intent to clean up the lake. We applied for $1 million for alum treatment, and then money to be used for cleaning up the dewatering facility. The discussion I've had with each of you is, I think it needs to be used for what it was intended, to clean up the lake. And what that looks like, I don't know. Is it alum treatment? Is it cleaning up our storm drain inlets? Planting? I don't know. That's where the engineers to get involved in and the environmentalists to get involved in. So we're going to get the best bang for our buck, but I think it does need to be used for the lake cleanup. Currently, we had previously had the clerk treasurer invested in the, is it Fund Indiana?
Trust Indiana.
Trust Indiana. So we were getting some money on, earning interest on that $1 million. And today, or tomorrow, I think we're going to invest the other $1 million.
That is what you directed me to do, so yes.
Fund, so that we're getting interest or earning interest on this money while we're deciding how to best spend it.
And I indicated a street sweeper, and I also indicated trying to stop sediment coming in, like where they put the plants over there by the chamber, and that didn't hold stopping that stuff from coming in the lake. And
I did have discussions today, lengthy discussions with some engineers from CBEL who were involved in the dredging and everything. I'm glad I don't have to make any decisions right now, because there's a lot of differing opinions. But there's clearly some work that is cut out for the town to do in cleaning up the lake.
Yeah.
And you also suggested doing some drainage work out here and maybe expanding the beach.
That was a discussion I also had with CBEL, is how we can clean up some of these wetland-like areas out here, like we have out here in the beach. And there are certainly options to do that. From what I understand, there's a lot of runoff for silt and dirt that comes in off the north side of the lake when it rains. There's a lot of areas to be addressed. So, but I would definitely take the advice of the environmentalists and the experts and the engineers on what the best route to go is.
Very good.
And I just want to say, I get very passionate about this subject. You know, I understand everyone had their reasons for what happened last year, and you had your reasons that I didn't agree with. However, now that we've been given this money, I want to clarify, no one up here has said, no way, we're not using that on the lake, because we're just starting to discuss it. But I would caution people of using Google and AI to find out if things like alum is, the man that was up here earlier with all the expletives, I don't agree that, from what I've read about alum, that it is dangerous. But I'm not saying alum is going to be the answer either. However, the 15-year study with the Army Corps definitely pushed for the alum treatment for different reasons. I talked to Don Oliphant. He suggested alum, and also, he doesn't work for CBEL anymore, so just to clarify, some plantings along the banks that could help with that. But again, I want to caution, we need to talk to environmentalists, and we need to talk to experts, engineers, people with engineering degrees, not people using Google to find out the best treatment for cleaning up the lake. And I'm sorry, that's just how it is. I would like to start using Jed, who's our environmental person at CBEL, so he can kind of narrow down just what's going to give us the best bang for our buck. we decide, we all collectively say we're going to use this for what it was intended, and just rely on the people that have studied this, different lakes of our size, what they've used. Obviously, the dredging, $2 million would not, it would get the equipment back, but it wouldn't go very far. So I'm just hoping everyone keeps an open mind, and again, no one here has said, nope, we're spending $2 million on, I don't know, crane. So if we can just look into.
We're not gonna solve it tonight.
We're not gonna solve it tonight, but at least if we could narrow down in the next few weeks, who at Seabell, I believe it's Jed, that we can talk to, there are engineers, about kind of trying to help us navigate what the best course of action would be.
Yeah, I agree, and this whole Allen discussion, and when you talk about experts, when we had the DNR here, they weren't confident that was even a long-term solution. I heard 50 years just thrown out here tonight.
Yeah.
Past council member. I've never heard that. Actually, the packet that you gave us, Ms. Rivera, mentioned 5 to 15 years, and in extreme cases, annual applications are necessary. So I think we got to figure out, it's a lot of money. I think we need to pump our brakes a little bit. We're earning interest on it. Let's make sure that whatever we do is sustainable and
Makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah. So we'll continue to do homework, as you said. Yeah.
You know, the one thing, I've always wanted to be in the community or work in the community where there was some type of feature like what Cedar Lake has. I mean, and there's so much that you can do with the lake, and occasionally I get to go out on my lunch and my paddleboard and just go out on the lake and just kind of sit there and think about what we're going to do with this lake. It is a diamond in the rough, and I think we definitely do need to pump the brakes, but we do need to seriously consider what we can do, what needs to be done to clean up this lake.
I'm going to just be frank with you though, Ben. I was in the lake on Sunday. We were out on the boat. That color of that lake ain't stopping me from going in the lake. It hasn't stopped my dad from going in the lake. It doesn't stop my kids from having fun in the lake. So, it's like a picture is painted sometimes by people that this lake is a cesspool, and it's a gem right now. And we enjoy it, and a lot of people enjoy it. Yeah.
Yep. So what we need to think of what we can do to make it better.
Yeah, I agree. So we will continue to keep you all updated on that. We will move on to request for direction regarding Founder's Creek Trail. Whose request is this? I know Attorney Austin, you had been working on some stuff with this, and we have an outstanding parcel.
Well, Founder's Creek project has been open now for 3 years, 4 years, and there were 6 parcels of property that needed to be acquired to make this project work. We've acquired 5 of them. The 6th one is the elusive, difficult to connect to parcel. But without it, there's no project.
So my understanding is that at the park board meeting on Thursday, there's some consideration for an engagement or agreement, or something of that sort, to get this project moving along. Can we move forward without that parcel?
No, I'm told we can't.
Okay.
Could we move forward as far as putting a trail right up to that property?
You can go right up to the property line, of course.
I mean, kind of like what we're doing with the sidewalk. We're putting the sidewalk from Klein to Hilltop, and can we phase in the trail the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an intention to cross 133rd, make Lemon Lake Park accessible.
Is there a potential to go around it? Why can't we go around it?
I've asked the engineers that, speaking of engineers, and they gave me no solution, nor a different parcel.
And it used to be called a hog pen ditch, and then we changed it to Founder's Creek.
Much nicer name.
Yes.
Well, I know that the idea of eminent domain has been floated, and I don't think this council is on board with taking folks' property.
No.
So trying to come to a resolution with property owners is the best thing.
We've known that that's not the policy of this town.
Yeah.
So we haven't pursued that. A lot of times it works, in the sense that an eminent domain complaint being served shows you're serious, and people start talking.
Yeah.
But it's not a great policy if it's not your policy.
Are you going to be attending the park board
I
meeting
will
on
be.
Thursday? Okay. So do you need any direction from us now, or you kind of know where this council stands
Yeah,
on it?
I think I do know, and we'll talk about it at the park, I guess.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Nope.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to reports, town council reports. Mr. Carnahan.
Chief Gerska sent to the town council and the public, safety board. I just want to inform you that we received notice from Thomas Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram that the 2023 Dodge Charger that we were going to purchase with insurance money was sold. So, we had, 2019 Dodge that got wrecked, it was hit. It had 60,000 miles on it, had a brand-new 2023 Dodge that was never sold. We were going to purchase it for $34,000. We got $22,000 from the insurance, and we needed $12,000 to add to it. The safety board approved it, the town council approved it, and then it was sold from underneath us. So, that's one item. Then I sent all the council, Ben and Monica, the plan commission was trying to get, the culverts underneath the railroad tracks on 133rd on the west side and 141st clean. And I had met a guy named William Miller at Northwest Indiana Regional Planning, and he gave me his card and a phone number. And I gave that to Luke Sherry, who's our town engineer now, and he contacted them, and he was told that he's going to submit it to somebody. So I decided, I tried calling him, and his phone number's not connected anymore. So I called North Fork Southern, and they said, we don't own that section of railroad. Chesapeake and Indiana Railroad owns it. So they gave me their number, and I contacted them today, and they are going, the representative I talked to is in Illinois, and they're going to try to send a guy out here tomorrow and look to see about getting them clean. And I sent everybody that information and the phone number of the person I contacted.
I was wondering what that was for. That's what it
So
was.
that's what that was for.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Carnahan. Anything else?
Well, since Mayor Jones is not online, Summerfest is now scheduled, July, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th for Summerfest next year. They will be doing, fireworks on the 2nd and 3rd. They're going to have, the parade on July 4th on a Saturday, so they'll be competing against Crown Point. And, they're in desperate need of cones to put around the property, and they've been borrowing them, and I suggested to the Summerfest committee, maybe they contact the Crown Point Community Foundation, and they can, maybe get a grant to purchase their own cones to have out there. And why I'm mentioning them, Project Love Food Pantry, we're open tomorrow from 9 to 11:30, and, Melissa Wonder, who's the administrative assistant to the minister up there, submitted a grant to Crown Point Community Foundation. We got $1,000 to buy a new freezer, because one of our freezers went out, and that will be delivered to the food pantry tomorrow. So, got a lot of good things going on.
Good. Very positive. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
Any other town council reports?
Yeah, I actually have a question regarding what Bob said about the police car. What's the plan now, since we can't get that one?
Chief Birmingham said that we really didn't need to purchase one. We've got enough pool vehicles to handle that.
We should be getting the 4 new vehicles or I was hoping this week we could get one.
So there's no need to make an extra purchase now?
No, it would've helped, but if we can do it now.
Okay.
It was a deal you couldn't pass up probably, right?
It really
Yeah.
presented itself very
Yeah.
well, and unfortunately, we just weren't able to follow through with it.
Okay. All right, any other questions or town council discussion? We'll move on to town attorney, Attorney Austin.
No reports.
Thank you, sir. Clerk treasurer, Ms. Sandberg.
So work continues on the 2026 budget, and then next week I will be out of the office. I'll be attending the Indiana League of Municipal Clerks and Treasurers Annual Conference. That is a joint effort with the Indiana State Board of Accounts, so it is a state-called meeting, so I must attend.
Very good. I have a question about the budget, because we get these emails from, it says from the commissioner. Who's the commissioner? It mentions, deadlines for filings, and a recent one came up, for excess levy appeals.
Yep.
I had heard originally when all this stuff was going on downstate that we wouldn't be able to appeal for one, but now the recent one I'm reading is saying we have one last year, right? We can file for one this year.
Yeah, I previously sent out an email to you all that
Okay.
that was my intention is during this budget process was to do one final excess levy appeal based on the growth appeal.
Okay. All right.
Try and get that little bit before everything is gone.
Okay.
After this year, it will no longer be viable.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Town manager, Mr. Eldridge.
So I originally talked to you about the Great Gold Rush Race, 7.0 to 5K, 3K Walk and Family Festival. It's at Lake Central High School in St. John, September 7th. Registration starts at 11 a.m. and step off is at noon. And it is for Northwest Indiana Cancer Kids. And there are several different levels of sponsorship. If someone in the community is interested in being a sponsor for this race or participating in the race, we have the information here.
Thank you, sir. Anything else for us? All good? Anything else? No? Okay. Thank you. Any written communication? I have not received any.
I'm not in receipt of anything.
Okay. All right, we'll open the floor for public comment for the council. Public comments. Like I said, please try to keep it to 3 minutes if we could.
Yeah, I'm gonna be short and sweet.
All right.
I'm here tonight, I'm Ralph Miller, my address is 13338 Fulton Street here in Cedar Lake. It was super that you guys gave the museum the $2,000 for full. Great project, brings a lot of good stuff to Cedar Lake. Also, the Knights of Columbus have been doing a fabulous job with their haunted forest. I was wondering if I could get you guys to redo your agenda. Jennifer said that we've got close to $6,000. We've got Summerfest Committee asking for some money. We just gave the museum $2,000. I would like to see $2,000 go to the Knights of Columbus for their haunted project to bring more people into Cedar Lake and that. And I was hoping that you could redo your agenda. The paperwork and that was submitted. I don't know, have you seen the paperwork from the Knights?
I have not.
Yeah,
I know that the packet was dropped off here. Everybody up here knows that how many years, the last 10 years, the Knights have been doing this project. We could really use some help. We can really use some new attractions to help us.
When is the date?
We need a written request.
Yeah, when is the date for it?
The Haunted Forest?
Yeah.
It's in October. It's for Christmas.
Okay.
October.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay, so in the fall, but I mean, this is something that we could probably have on an agenda in 2 weeks at the next meeting, and then as long as we see the written request.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll have one dropped off tomorrow too.
Yeah, I thought I thought I saw it, but I looked through my emails, Knights of Columbus, I looked.
Yeah,
up your name, so I don't
it
know.
was delivered here, I don't know if you guys had seen it, it was on your
Yeah, I
list.
have not, yeah.
I haven't seen
Before.
it. Yeah, I haven't seen, but if we can get that in and we can consider that at our next agenda in 2 weeks, we'd be glad to
Yeah,
do that.
can you get it
Can we
in as
get
soon
a-
as possible?
Exactly how much money's in that account?
6,800 about.
Oh, 16, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now,
Or, sorry, 58, but take out the 2,000.
well,
It was 68, minus 2,048.
no, I said 6,000 originally. I don't know where the 68 is coming from.
I don't either.
So, work with 4,000.
Okay.
Yeah, if we can get that formal request in before the next meeting, preferably this week, we can definitely consider it next
Very
meeting.
good, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We also have a
Thank you.
written request from Summerfest.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, and we will be considering that next month, or next meeting in 2 weeks,
Okay.
correct? Okay.
I just want to make sure that didn't get.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, yep.
It's okay if I stay right here?
Sure, Ms. Kerr.
Okay, Carol Kerr, 9900 West 129th
Excuse me, could you please go up there and speak?
Oh.
Because when you watch you on TV,
It's hard.
on the,
Okay, I have-
we don't know what you're saying.
Okay, I have better cards. What if I shout from here? Would that
Yeah.
work?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be much better if you go up
Okay.
there.
You're probably right.
We want to try,
No, you can't hear what you're saying.
Okay, sometimes I can't hear when people are up here either, but, that's okay. You had online the, Cedar Lake Water Works Consumer Reporting, it's always a year behind, so it's 2024, and there is a Safe Drinking Water Act. We had gross violations. It really bothers me, it should bother everyone. I don't know how, whoever's supposed to do this, I believe it's Ryan Kuiper, and he's done it before where he gets away with this. Now, this looks like a high school periodic chart to me, but it's got, how many did I count? 48 violations of our drinking water. Some but not all monitoring samples were reported, it goes on and on. What's really disturbing is, when you turn on our water, especially outside in the hose, because there's chemical reactions, you smell chlorine. A lot of times if you take a shower, you will smell chlorine. So we need the chlorine, but there's byproducts of chlorine. There's TTHM, and there's something called HAS, and those can give you kidney cancer. Those weren't even monitored. And those are pretty routine. I guess you're in charge of chemicals, can you explain that?
Well, the
How did they get away with this?
The trihalomethanes and the haloacidic acids
I can't hear you.
The trihalomethanes and the haloacidic acids are required to be tested annually. They're carcinogens.
Uh-huh.
I have not seen the CCR, I can look at that, but we had a phone conversation with IDEM yesterday, and IDEM did not reference any violations by the town.
Well, it says right here, I mean, what are you talking about? It said, it says right here that there were violations. It says some but not all sampling were taken. It says inadequate consumer confidence report, failure to deliver a CCR certified form to the state on time. And I called IDEM, and they agreed with that.
Was that for 2024?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you play dumb sometimes, what are you talking about? I mean, if you're in charge and you're gonna come up with
Ma'am,
all the certificates,
He's just
why don't you know?
asking a simple
I
question,
was asking
ma'am.
simple questions just like you were.
Okay. Well, how do we get away with this? This is our drinking water. And when you're talking about all this money for the lake, we don't even own the lake, we've said that before. Why not get on the state and their representatives and they fix the lake? They own the lake.
According to our
Because we're
engineers.
running out of drinking water.
According
We
to-
need a water tower.
According to
What about the
our,
money for that?
according to our engineers, the state does not own the lake. It is a state-regulated lake. The state does not have ownership of the lake.
Who owns the lake then? Because everything I read on it, the state owns it, we don't.
It is a state-regulated lake, and that's all that I've been
When
told
you're
by
saying the state
engineers.
regulated, again, a little semantics there. That doesn't mean they own it, or we own it. Okay, so you're saying the state regulates it. You kind of insult my intelligence, sir.
Ms. Kerr?
Why do they get away with this?
Ms. Kerr?
I don't know.
Ms. Kerr, we're actually planning on hosting an informational meeting in the near future here about our water systems. That'll be open to the public. Just stay tuned for that. There'll be a chance
Yeah,
for...
they said it was gonna be today, and then you
No,
told
we-
me that,
we-
then it was canceled.
we had discussed
Because we
it.
still didn't get the secret master water plan.
Go ahead, Matt.
Pardon?
I spoke with, like I said, we had a conversation with IDEM yesterday about our water master plan.
Yeah.
IDEM confirmed that that is not a document that should be made public because of the infrastructure, critical infrastructure that is outlined in that document. We had originally planned to have a presentation by Seabell Engineering. And so we are planning a meeting independent of a council meeting, so to allow the public to take as much time as they want to answer questions, ask questions, and get those questions answered for you. But it'll be a presentation on basically what a water system is, where the water comes from, how it's tested, what's tested, and all that jazz. So,
yeah, I got it. But what I'm saying here is like, what about this? Who's responsible? Who's got those directives to test our water that we're drinking?
That ultimately falls back onto our water superintendent. I was not here in 2024, but it is changing moving forward. There's been,
so are you going to test all this so we know what we're drinking? That we're not getting bladder cancer?
Yes.
I'm telling you, anybody at home, and I'm not a chemist, but I've talked to chemists, get that reverse osmosis, at least what you're drinking out of your kitchen. Of course, you're bathing in it, and you said you had gotten the whole house purifier, whatever you would call it. That's the way to go. That's about $2,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can absorb medicines through your skin. I'm sure you can absorb this periodic table through your skin. But no one seems to do anything about it. So is he going to retest and send this in, or he's not?
I believe we have until September 30th to test for trihalmethanes and halocytic acid, so I will make sure that those do get tested this year.
It was supposed to be tested, though, wasn't it?
In 2024, it's supposed to be tested every year, yes, ma'am.
But it wasn't tested, correct?
I do not know if it was tested in 24.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else for public comment?
Kevin Toll, 9725B West 129th Place.
Hello.
Just a couple of comments, real quick on the Monsanto money. I just want to ask you guys, I know you're going to work on this, but have a plan, and a fully funded plan, not like we had in the past, all that patchwork stuff that we really didn't know how we were going to start, how we were going to finish, and what we were going to do in between. Is Alan going to help? Sure, we've heard a lot of talk about Alan tonight, but I've heard everything from Alan's going to solidify the bottom to whatever. Alan does not solidify. Alan will be like Jell-O, okay? It's a gelatinous substance. I work with that stuff. That's what it will be, okay? Will it work? It'll work for a while, and like the gentleman said at the very beginning, carp will destroy it, the wake boats will destroy it, the prop washes will destroy it, so are we willing to put no wake zones in on the lake? All the way around where all the shallow water is at, because that's what you need to do if it's going to work. It'll work. Like I think you said a little while ago, 5 to 15 years on a shallow lake, that it might help to clear the water. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of steps in between for that to actually help.
Yeah.
And if the sediment's still coming in, nothing's going to help.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just some things I want you guys to keep,
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
mind.
Yeah, and I like to always reference that meeting that when the DNR, the professionals were here, and they had concerns about the efficacy and sustainability of that too, and they had mentioned, the speed of the boats, the thrust of the boats, and all that stuff we have on this lake being a concern too. So you can't just wave a wand and fix it with Alan.
No.
Kevin sent me that thing about alum, and I sent that to each one of you.
Yep.
Just stuff.
Remember the AI generated one? Or no?
I don't know, where did you get that from, Kevin?
The alum stuff and all that?
Yeah.
Looked it up. Put it online, look it all up. I used to work with flocculants, so I worked with them for 13 years, so I know what flocks do when they get in water, like the gentleman back there said. So,
Yeah.
I mean, believe me.
We're not going to rush into anything. We're
Anyway, flip the page. Just a couple of questions, but maybe Nick can help me on this too with the ambulance thing. Nick, I was just wondering, what is Medicare and Medicaid reimburse? Is there an amount that they reimburse regularly?
Yeah, set amount on category, whether it's BLS, ALS 1, ALS 2. I don't have those numbers in front of me.
So even what we were currently charging was more than what they would reimburse, right? Or
depending on the category.
Depending on the category. So at the new rates, will we get full payment for Medicare and Medicare, or will there still be like?
It won't be 100% of the proposed increase. There'll be a percentage of it.
Okay, so that kinda looks like maybe we lose 50% of the billing, we only get like 50% of it.
Close to 60, I want to say the number for.
So where's most of that loss at? Do you know, like what, is it Medicare, private pays, those, they don't have any
I don't have the exact numbers where the loss is, what specifically, if it's insurance companies specifically, because they have different percentages too that they pay out. And then obviously the patient would be responsible for the other portion, which goes through a collection process if it doesn't get paid.
Jennifer, can you answer any of those questions?
Unfortunately, I cannot. I'm not involved with the
The billing?
specifics of the EMS billing.
Because I was just asking, because in the, I think it's like the 7th page of that, the package you guys got, it said that it should be noted that the aforementioned EMS billing increases will only affect anticipated revenue collected from private insurance and self-pay patients. Medicare and Medicaid will not be affected.
Yeah, because they only pay so much, and it could go towards the patient requesting service.
Okay, so do we have any idea, like, what, on private pays, what we don't get, or what, you know?
I don't have those specific numbers.
And we usually have figures that come before us, and we have to wipe them off because we can't collect them.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because if you increase it even on the private pays, do we know what insurance, like, is there a normal amount insurance covers? Or is everybody different? I'm not sure.
Each insurance company is different, and then also depends on, again, the category, whether we got BLS 1, ALS 1, ALS 2.
Would you happen to know if the rates that we had or that you're proposing are within basically most people's insurance that would cover it, or would there be out of pocket to them?
The current rates or the proposed?
Oh, let's just say the proposed ones.
Proposed, I don't have an answer.
What about the current ones? I mean,
I don't have an
you
answer.
know, I'm just wondering to see if it's gonna be an out-of-pocket hit that people do their, if their insurance only covers X amount of dollars, I don't know what that is, so that's why I'll have to look into it a little more. I thought you might have those numbers.
Not in front of me, no. I'd have to get with the building company to find out specifics like that.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Yep.
Bob Grosek, 14055 Deodore. I just have a couple of questions, and I'm gonna make it quick. If the dredging was done, and everything was done perfect, and everybody was happy, where did the money come from to pay that dredging? Did it come from the sewer bill, sewer money? Or was that money supposed to be repaid?
2 million, I believe it was.
So was that money gonna be repaid at any time?
We took 2.1 million out of it because we needed it to pay some sewer bills.
So whatever is left, shouldn't that go back into the sewer bill?
We took what was left out and put it back in.
Goes back in whatever was paid.
In a perfect world, that would be the right thing to do. I understand exactly what you're saying, but
Because I thought I remember hearing back and
it
we
is
got
settlement money, we
discussion.
cannot use it to pay ourselves back.
Okay,
That money's gone.
right, that's what I figured, maybe just pay it back.
It was approximately $9.5 million we put in, then we ended up taking out 2.1 to put back in because we needed to pay some sewer bills.
Okay, I just was wondering if they paid that back.
I wish we could pay the ratepayers back, really. It's because the ratepayers' money.
Okay, well, that's all.
All right, thank you, sir. Anyone else for public comment?
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
I did. Front seat. Front row.
Shorter walk. Father Senior John Kowalczyk, 14338 Violet Circle, Cedar Lake, Indiana. 141st between the railroad tracks and Parish.
I travel it every day, sir, yeah.
I heard several months ago that maybe it's on the docket to get fixed. Is it still on the docket to get fixed?
Well, I don't want to speak for the road committee, but we did have a survey. We contracted out with our engineer to have that area all surveyed, and Ms. Sandberg, that's been completed, I believe?
Yes, I believe I saw it on the April billing.
So now that...
Christopher B. Burke.
Christopher B. Burke. I think well, you guys can speak, you're the road committee, but I think that's a project we want to get done at some point, but it's not going to get done this year. The
Yeah.
money's been allocated for other road projects.
We're,
so not this year.
we're
Not
gonna
this
bond
year.
out for it properly.
Okay.
That was our suggestion.
Yeah.
So it's a work in
You gave me a
It's-
funny
it's-
vision.
Yeah,
That's the first I'm hearing of it, and that'll have to be a very lengthy discussion. Have you guys been given an estimated cost from Chris Work? Because
I
that's what I've been
That's
waiting
what
to
the
hear.
survey work was
That's what it was
supposed to be.
We were
for.
waiting on that.
yeah.
Okay, so you haven't gotten an estimate yet from...
So it's a work in progress.
It is a work in
Okay.
progress. Yeah, it's not forgotten. Trust me, my truck's getting beat up on that stretch of road.
I'm gonna have to get a truck.
Yeah.
Two, we all know that the police department, fire department calls increase every month. We all know that. We all know that there is a shortage of staff. We also know that. My question to you again is, what is this council doing to get more firefighters, police officers in our buildings so that they can? We have, according to the shifts, we have enough fire personnel to run 2 ALS ambulances at one time, or 1 ALS ambulance and 1 ALS engine. Yes? Chief? Okay, so that's 2 calls. If those guys are out on another call, and there's another ambulance call, that has to come from some other jurisdiction to cover us, and hopefully they're able to. If they're both out on a call and this building catches fire, there's no one in town to put it out. So that's a problem. Same way with my house, your house, and everybody else's house. So I implore this council. I know Senate Bill 1's going to cause issues. I know that. I know it's a monetary issue. I'm aware of that. But we need more personnel, period. I implore you to find ways to make that happen. 3. Thank you for what you're all trying to do. Okay, please don't consider this just a gripe thing. It's not. I don't want to sit where you're sitting. I sit on a pulpit on Sunday mornings. That's enough. Okay? It's not easy. It's not easy. Okay? But you have a responsibility to this town, and I'm asking that you do everything in your power to make that happen. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I want to reply to his comments. Well, actually, I have a question for Chief Meyer. Are we unique in this situation with having multiple calls, like for our area, for this part of Lake County, or is this unique to Cedar Lake?
No, the fire service in the whole has seen a drastic increase for calls of service, whether it be fire or EMS. It's just not the town problem, the county problem, the region. It's a nationwide problem, along with the shortage of people to do the job recruitment. Everyone wants something. It kind of goes back to what had come with COVID. We saw a slowdown, and all of a sudden just a dramatic increase that no one could predict. Now there's other elements. Yeah, the town's grown, the community's grown quite a bit over the past 10, 15 years. In the last 5 years, a 50% increase for calls of service. Now, some of those we can say are complex incidents, some are simple incidents. There's no way to predict it. There's no way to predict the time of day, day of the week, month of the year. It's a steady incline in percentage increase for calls of service throughout.
Yeah.
Surrounding departments are running into the same issues. They're running just as many calls, if not more.
Yeah, and I think, we were asked kind of what we're doing. Last year, we made a large step to increase wages for public safety, police and fire, and also we were told that if we bumped up the wages for part-time, we can draw in some more part-time pool to help with the exhaustion of the paramedics and EMTs. How is that working out? are we getting any more interest in part-timers, or is it just people not getting into this, in that line of work like they used to?
So both are problems.
Yeah.
Don't want to do a line of work. As you advance in your career, invest more time in your career, it catches up to you.
Yeah.
It's a strain physically, emotionally, and mentally. So you see less guys wanting to work part-time, doing a job 24 on, 48 off, and then go pick up another 24 on in another department.
Yeah.
So there's multiple issues across the board.
Yeah.
And we were going to add another police officer in 2025, but we talked to the police, and they said if we didn't hire that other officer, could that money be given to them? So we gave them a big pay increase.
2025, you said?
Yeah, we were going to hire one in 2025, but we didn't.
Oh, you're talking about past years, we've discussed it, okay.
And so then I believe it was an 8% raise we gave to the police. And we didn't give any department heads any pay raises. We pushed it all to the police and fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Of your calls, what's the percentage of how many lift assists?
I don't have the report in front of me, the monthly report.
But it's gotta be close to what, 40%?
40% of the calls now.
No? Okay. Because I just seen we discussed before, where...
Yeah, within your guys' packets, on the second meeting of the month is the monthly reports, and that's a breakdown of every EMS incident that we've responded to and every fire incident. At the end of the day, the fire department, you call for help, you call 911, it's emergency view, we're coming. Some work has been invested for reoccurring calls at certain locations. It's a lengthy process, I'll say that.
Any other questions, Mr. Becker? No? All right. Anybody else from public comment? We have another, go ahead, come on up, please.
This is an easy one, I hope.
Okay.
Joyce Ivy, 13874 Hatteras. I have a question about, and I don't know, everyone has to know about this, but there's a big red barn at the corner of Parish Avenue and Beacon Point Lane that's been there and is dilapidated and whatnot. There was a realtor sign there at one time that said it was available for purchase, and now the sign's been taken down. And my neighbors were just wondering what plans.
Yeah, I'm not aware of the sign being down. I know it was for sale or build-to-suit type of thing, where they actually came to the plan commission with some, where it was rezoned from B to R.
Actually brought in a construction plan for it.
Yeah, to convert it into a house.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think the core of it was that we wanted to see that barn be preserved, because we lost so much history in Cedar Lake over the years. And if there was a nice plan to preserve it and make it look good and have an asset for the community, that was... And
it was on unsafe, which I'm the commissioner on unsafe building, and it was, our goal to not see it tore down. So at one point, they actually did come in to pull a demo permit, and we said no. So, just as long as it was safe.
Maybe someone bought it.
Huh?
Maybe someone
bought it, I don't know yet.
The board, still like the sign was there, the boards have been taken down, but the structure, where they nailed it up there is still there. What was concerning was, as in a residential area, we're like, what are they planning on putting here,
The plans, as Mr. Keel said, was for it to be a residence. Now, is that still on the agenda as an update item?
It is staying on unsafe as update, just so it doesn't, fall off the radar.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, easy peasy. Thank you. Last call. Anybody for public comment? Anybody online, Ms. Sandberg?
No hands raised.
Okay, public comment is now closed. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, August 19th, 2025 at 7 p.m. We'll see you all there. Have a good night. This meeting is adjourned at 9:10 p.m.